Happy Saturday, everybody. This is your post WrestleMania edition of the Go Home Show. I am Cy the Guy, as always, joined here by my special guest for the weekend, Playhouse Disney Paul. Let's get into this show, man. Let's just start off the top. Was it a bad show? No. I was expecting this to be a bad show for sure. It ended up being a good show. You know, overall, it was not a bad show. I think if you cut out some of the filler, I think it could have been that much better. But, I mean, that's neither here nor there. I mean, we knew the women's tag match was going to be pretty much a waste of time outside of Paige coming out. If you've watched my previous video, you knew that was going to happen just like I did. That has been reported the last couple days on the dirt sheets. If I knew, everybody knew. So there were some elements that were a little surprising. Overall, though, nothing jumps out as a surprise at all. So let's get into it, man. The show started off with Lin-Manuel Miranda did the intro this year. Don't have a single clue who that is. So if anybody knows, not trying to be disrespectful, I have no idea who that is. It was kind of tough to hear him over the music that they were playing in the background. It did show a montage of classic moments, which is always more than welcome. It would be nice to not have to live in the past all the time, but as pro wrestling fans, that's what we have to do, especially here in 2026 when the overall landscape of professional wrestling looks pretty dim right now. So, showed the montage of classic moments. He spoke about how we will remember these moments a decade from now. And, you know, I've that stuck with me throughout the entirety of the show. And I thought about it. Are we going to remember anything that happened on tonight's show a decade from now? The answer is no. The answer is no. Will we remember it for a few months? Sure. It's going to be another WrestleMania that it was an okay show and then it just gets kind of forgotten about. John Cena came out, kicked off the festivities. He was wearing a suit for any of the clowns that thought he was going to do anything else. He was wearing a suit. He had tears in his eyes, and he said, "Thank you so much," to the crowd as they gave him a really pretty incredible ovation, rightfully so. He said, "It's undeniable that this road to WrestleMania this year has been chaos. We're all here for the same reasons. The time for talk is up, and the time to deliver is now. Who tonight will step up and deliver? Welcome to WrestleMania. Fireworks go off." Then we get into the Usos and LA Knight versus the Vision, being Logan Paul and Austin Theory, and I Show Speed. LA Knight came out in a Ram TRX. Got a huge pop per usual. LA Knight criminally used by this awful creative team. It's a damn shame he's relegated to this garbage. The Vision and Speed come out behind a giant flag that says The Vision on it. And, you know, it covered the curtain that they walk out of. And they stood behind it for a minute. Then the flag dropped down, I believe. Or they just went under it. I don't know. Something like that. So they could make their entrance. Speed actually had legitimate wrestling gear on. I was kind of surprised at that. The match gets started. The Usos hit stereo super kicks on Logan Paul and Austin Theory. So we get LA Knight and I Show Speed starting off. Speed did a backflip off the top and then ate a massive clothesline. He managed to scoop slam Knight, who no-sold the scoop slam. Then LA Knight, Speed ran away. He kind of just ran and hid, and Logan Paul jumped in. Knight tagged in Jey Uso after tossing Logan Paul into the ring. stomped him in the corner. Jay followed it up with some punches. Jay ends up tagging in Jimmy, and they double team Paul. Theory tagged himself in. Jimmy didn't see it, and Theory hit his rolling drop kick as he dives through the ropes from the apron. It always looks beautiful every time he does it. Theory and Paul then hit a double suplex on Jimmy. They tagged in Speed. Jimmy immediately suplexes Speed, who tags in Logan. Logan beats up on Jimmy. Jimmy hits a whisper in the wind, and both guys are down. Jimmy, I will say this till I am blue in the face. Jimmy Uso, out of the Uso twins, is the better wrestler. I think if Jimmy was a little more consistent with how often he wrestled, he's by far the better wrestler in my opinion. Jimmy tagged in Jay and Logan tagged in Theory. Jay hit a spear on Theory for a near fall, was broken up by Logan. Speed hit a head scissors on Jimmy that looked pretty decent. Again, this was the second move he hit in the entire match. Knight went for the BFT on Speed, who pushed him off. Logan Paul was standing on the apron. He pushed Knight off into Logan Paul, who fell off the apron. Austin Theory came in and looked at Speed, and he was like, "What the hell are you doing?" Basically blamed Speed for that. So then he grabs Knight. Theory has him in a side headlock here, and he tells Speed to run off the ropes at him and hit him with something. Knight pushes Theory off of him into Speed. Speed gets knocked down. And then Theory turns around and eats a BFT. LA Knight gets the victory for himself and the Usos by pinning Austin Theory. After the match, Logan Paul came in. He blamed IShowSpeed for the loss. He attacked him, set him on the announce table, and he was going to jump off the top onto Speed through the announce table. Before he got the chance, the Usos came in and gave him a 1D, as did LA Knight. They kind of saved IShowSpeed. LA Knight set Logan Paul onto the announce table, and Speed ended up being the one that jumped off the top, threw Logan through the announce table. It's always impressive when somebody who doesn't do this for a living can come in and do something like that. So I will give him his props. That was impressive for him to be able to come in and do that. However, that does not change the fact that Speed landed 2 moves the entire match. And the match was overall a complete waste of time. And despite Speed's 2 moments during the match that I'm sure will be shown all over YouTube, all over ESPN, LA Knight and the tag team titles deserve better. And that's going to forever be my take on this. LA Knight should have been in a program worthwhile. And how this man has not gotten his just due yet, I don't know. If Jey Uso got a world title run, there's no reason or excuse that for LA Knight not getting one. And the tag team titles on either brand not being on WrestleMania, it just goes to show how little WWE actually gives a shit about tag team wrestling, which is one of the reasons I will more than likely always try to watch AEW as long as the Young Bucks and FTR and those guys are wrestling, because I am a big fan of tag team wrestling, and it's a lost art nowadays. I did make a note here that not only should ads during WrestleMania be a federal fucking crime, even more so 4 minutes worth of ads at a time tonight. Each ad break was 4 minutes long, and it seemed like they played the same ads every single time. Oh, you pay $30 a month for a subscription, and you still get 4 minutes of fucking ads. What a joke. Next, we got Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. This was one of the matches I was interested in watching just because you knew it was going to be a train wreck. You knew it was going to be business the minute Fatu came out in camo gear with a military shrapnel-proof vest, and Drew McIntyre came out with looking like he was a king going to war with his fucking claymore in his hand. You knew that this match was going to be just an utter train wreck, bruising. injuries, the whole bang, you know. I thought both entrances, given their attire and Drew McIntyre kicking down the castle door with the claymore in his hand, I thought both entrances really tied into the no rules style match really well. So that was a nice little touch. Jacob hit a suicide dive before Drew could even get into the ring. Fatu then threw Drew over the timekeeper's wall, grabbed 2 tables, and that got a pop from the crowd immediately. He grabbed some chairs, and then he grabbed a toolbox and emptied it. McIntyre threw Fatu backwards into the ring apron, and then catapulted Jacob under the ring. Looked fucking brutal. The skirt of the ring was lifted up, and you saw the steel beams going across. And he did the catapult to Jacob Fatu, and his throat looked like it caught the steel beams. Looked fucking awful, and that's just getting started. This match pretty much went how we all thought it was going to go. So Drew then sets up a table on the outside. He goes to powerbomb Fatu, but he reversed it. Goes after Drew, and then Drew hit a big clothesline. Grabbed a cell phone from ringside. I guess commentary made mention that it was from Drew McIntyre's brother-in-law. I don't know if that's true. I didn't see who he grabbed the cell phone from, but he grabs the cell phone, as he's known for now. He smacked Fatu upside the head with it, and then I guess he posted a post on X in the meantime. Fatu ended up getting the upper hand inside the ring. He hit a clothesline, some headbutts, and then he hit the Umaga running hip attack in the corner, followed by a pop-up Samoan drop. I mean, and Drew McIntyre is a big boy, all right? Drew McIntyre is 6'6", 285, and Jacob Fatu was able to pop him way up there for the Samoan drop. Pretty impressive stuff. I know it's also the person taking the move helps with that. I get that. It's just impressive that 2 guys that big can connect on a spot like that. McIntyre hit his signature over the head throw, and then he hit a tope over the top to the outside. I just explained Drew McIntyre 6'6", 285. For him to hit a running tope dive over the top, like full on front flip senton onto Jacob Fatu is crazy. The fact that he can do that is absurd. Fatu ducked a claymore back inside the ring. Then he tossed Drew into a chair that was propped up in the corner. He hit his moonsault, but Drew kicked out at 2. Commentary made sure to make a big deal of this. They mentioned nobody had kicked out of it before. Drew then dug at Fatu's face with a wrench from the toolbox, suplexed him on some chairs, and then he whipped him with a belt. He hit him with a claymore for a 2 count. Jacob set up a table, posted up in the ring, but facing the corner. Placed Drew on it, and then he hit Drew with a steel chair. Jacob goes up top. Drew gets up, and he hit Jacob with the chair, and then he tossed Jacob off. And remember that table they set up on the outside that Drew was going to powerbomb him through? It's still there. He pushed Jacob off the top rope through that table to the outside. Brutal spot. Jacob sold it really well. For a big guy, that's got to be a scary spot to take, man. So pretty impressive that they nailed it right on the money. He rolled Jacob into the ring. Jacob hit him with the super kick and then hit him with the toolbox upside the head. Drew fell onto the table that was set up in the ring. Jacob went up top and hit him with the moonsault through the table for the win. Was a fun, violent match. I mean, as violent as it could probably be. I was expecting them to use some color there, but they decided not to. And then once you watch the rest of the show, you know why. But it was a good match, man. It was a pretty good match. I think it was everything needed to cap off the rivalry between these 2 guys. And the right person won at the end of the day. Jacob Fatu winning was the right call. So, and I fully stand by what I predicted earlier in that Drew McIntyre, I think he'll go away for at least a couple weeks, probably to wrap up some filming that he's doing for the Highlander. And when he comes back, he's going to be a babyface. I mean, you saw it tonight. He got a huge pop when he came out. The crowd was cheering for him even after he lost and he was in the ring by himself. The crowd was cheering for him. He got McIntyre chants. You know, it's time to turn the guy babyface. I think that's the right move at this point, despite the fact that he's such a good heel. Next up, if you were looking for a moment to walk the dog, to use the bathroom, to fucking take a nap, do anything other than watch this show, this would be the match to do it. This was the women's tag team match. I find this hilarious, so I made note of this. I mean, I didn't take detailed notes like I did with the rest of the matches, right? Because who cares? Who cares? Alexa Bliss came out dressed like a moth. I don't know why she keeps tying into the Bray Wyatt thing. She has nothing to do with the Wyatt family anymore. She came out dressed like a moth while Charlotte Flair was dressed like a butterfly. I don't know. Lyra and Bailey came out doing the bird dance thing. And then Nia and Lash Legend came out. This one actually kind of irritated me. And if you're an old school wrestling fan like I am, this would probably irritate you a little bit too. They came out wearing gear that looked like Demolition's gear that they used to come out with the masks and the shoulder pads, except theirs was painted white. Never in a million fucking years would you think that those two as a team are anything that should be mentioned in the same breath as Demolition. And then it's as I predicted, the Bella twins come out. Nikki has a microphone. The second I saw her with a crutch and a microphone, I took my victory lap. She comes out. She says she tried to get cleared medically and she could not get cleared medically for the show. So she had a replacement. Paige comes out, and this is where I started laughing when I first got to this match. Michael Cole says on commentary, there's no way anyone could have known that Paige was coming back. Michael, like, I understand you got to sell it, brother, but come on. Let's be a little realistic. Everybody knew. Everybody, there were signs in the crowd that said, welcome back, Paige. Come on, man. If I made a video predicting it, everybody knew. Right after Paige got tagged in, this was another botch in the match. Right after Paige got tagged in and she hit a couple moves, the cameraman who was doing the live feed at the moment, because they transfer it from camera to camera, the one that the live feed was on, he fell and you just see the camera just boop right to the floor. It was pretty funny. And it fit the match perfectly, actually. We got Paige and Charlotte one-on-one. It was kind of a cool moment. Alexa was up top. Nikki Bella beat the shit out of Charlotte with her crutch on the outside. Alexa went for Twisted Bliss. She was distracted by this, so it took her longer than it should have. She went for Twisted Bliss on Paige. Paige got the knees up, and then Paige picks her up and hits Rampage in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. That's all she wrote. Paige gets the victory in her comeback. What I'm confused on now is, are Brie and Paige the tag team champion? Like, how are you going to book this moving forward? Is she just going to drop it and give it to Nikki? I don't know I don't know. I would have saved her debut personally for tomorrow. And then I would have put the Kabuki Warriors in this spot who were off the card. So that's what I would have done. Well, what do I know? You know, I'm not the one booking this shitty show. Then we got Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. You know, the match wasn't as bad as it might have seemed. It's just as I predicted, the crowd was just dead. The crowd was dead for the match. And plus, we've seen it already. We just saw this at Elimination Chamber. We don't want to see it again. Had you saved the first ever meeting between these two, had you saved that for WrestleMania, this would have been fine. But we just saw it. Becky had her entrance theme played live by the Wonder Years. I've never heard of this band, but the lead singer was clearly lip syncing, and you could tell because he missed his cue at the beginning and he was off track the entire time. So not a good look. I don't know who the Wonder Years are, but probably going to be the last WrestleMania performance from him. Becky hit a fallaway slam on the outside into the barricade. It looked pretty brutal. Then she hit a leg drop off the top for a near fall. Then she hit a Bexploder for a 2 count. AJ hit a missile drop kick. Then she hit sliced bread. Went for a Shining Wizard, but Becky reversed it into a power bomb for a 2 count. AJ hit a kick. Went for the Black Widow, but Becky reversed it and rammed her into the corner. Then she hit a manhandle slam for a near fall. Becky got into it with the referee, Jessica Carr, and then she ran right into a manhandle slam by AJ for a near fall. Becky then took the turnbuckle pad off. AJ ran at her in the corner. Becky pulled Jessica Carr in the way, so AJ kind of stopped her momentum, and Jessica Carr got out of the way. As she was getting out of the way, Becky bounced AJ Lee's face off of the exposed steel after she took the turnbuckle pad off, and she hit her with a manhandle slam for the win. The match was okay, but now we get more of Becky the Cringe Master as IC champ. And it seems like the IC championship for the women would be a great spot to utilize some of the young talent that you have on the roster. Why Roxanne can't get a run as IC champ? Why Sol Ruka's still in NXT? I don't know. But those are the types of women that should be feuding realistically over the IC championship for the women. And for some reason, we just got to keep pushing the same people who have been at the top forever. Makes no sense. They should be giving the rub now. We need to create new stars. This is a consistent problem with WWE. So the match was okay, but at the end of the day, it does nothing because now we go right back to where we started. So there's no storyline progression there. Next up is my pick for match of the weekend. And boy, I know we still got another night to go, but boy, do I feel confident about that pick right now. Excuse me. Gunther versus Seth Rollins. I would love for us to be done with the career killer nonsense, and I'm probably in the minority here. I know I'm in the minority, but I feel like Gunther's other theme song, I think it just fit him more. I think it just fit him best. This one is okay. There's just, I feel like without the build up, right? Like it doesn't feel like a war song, you know what I mean? I don't know. It just, this one doesn't fit him nearly as well, in my opinion. I'm sure I'm in the minority on that. Just because it's old, just because it's the old theme song he used to use, doesn't mean it's better. This is a consistent problem with the pro wrestling fan base, is they think that just because something is old, that it means it's good. It's better than something that's newer. And that's not always the case, man. Gunther's other theme is better. Seth came out with black contact lenses. He came out with a leather trench coat that had smoke coming out of it. I don't know who he was supposed to be. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. Gunther hit a drop kick and a suplex and a power bomb before the match even started. Rollins then threw Gunther over the announce table. Then he threw a chair at him. And then we get the bell and both guys start trading blows. Gunther hits a boot, goes for a sleeper. Rollins reverses and hits a kick. He goes for a stomp and Gunther hits a big clothesline. Some big chops from Gunther. Goes for a superplex. Seth reverses it into a buckle bomb. And then both guys trade German suplexes and clotheslines before both guys are down. Both guys trade big chops. I mean, this went on for a while, the chops. Like, it made me wince after each one. Both guys traded chops. Gunther hits a power bomb for a near fall. Seth hit a super kick followed by a pedigree. Then he hit a curb stomp, all in sequence for a near fall. Rollins hit a roll up that Gunther countered into a sleeper. He escaped the sleeper, and then he hit 2 discus forearms. Gunther hit a clothesline. Then Gunther goes up for the splash. Rollins met him up top for a superplex Falcon Arrow combo, patented Seth Rollins maneuver. He got a near fall out of it. And then this was immediately followed by a sleeper. And Gunther got his foot on the bottom rope to escape the sleeper. Rollins hit 2 suicide dives to the outside. He went for the third one, but Gunther caught him and powerbombed him on the apron, Kevin Owens style. And then he took him up on top of the announce table. He was going to powerbomb him through the announce table. But while he went through for the powerbomb, Rollins reversed it and pedigreed him on top of the announce table instead. Then Rollins goes to the other announce table. He runs across and he stomped Gunther onto the announce table. It sounded brutal. Gunther falls down in between the announce table and the barricade. The ref goes to check on Gunther. And while the ref is checking on Gunther, Braun Breaker comes out, spears Seth Rollins, rolls him into the ring, and then Gunther gets into the ring after him, locks in a sleeper immediately. Seth Rollins passes out, and that is the match. Was a damn good match. My description here on the channel is not going to do this match justice. I would absolutely, if there's one match you should go back and watch on this show, it's this one for sure. After watching this match, I feel very confident with picking this match as my match of the weekend. I think this is going to be the best match today and tomorrow. Then we get Stephanie Vaquer. Oh, at the end of the match, I almost forgot. Braun Breaker sprints from the stage area all the way down the super long ramp, spears Seth Rollins almost right at ringside. Brutal. It does beg the question though, like if Braun Breaker was healthy, why didn't we get that match? Is what it is though. We got a great fucking match out of it. Match of the weekend. Next up, we got Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan. Side note, I have heard Liv's song twice now, and I'm already begging WWE to please stop playing it. This is not a good theme song. Hopefully it's just for WrestleMania though. Hopefully it was just for the clicks and views for WrestleMania. And then for Stephanie Vaquer, the downgrade from her old theme song to her new one, awful. Totally awful. Def Rebel sucks. Get them out of there. Vaquer goes on the attack early. Stephanie goes up top. She hit Liv, goes up top, and Liv hit a springboard sunset flip power bomb that looked awesome. Then she hit the three amigo suplexes. Liv went for a splash, and Vaquer got the knees up. She then hit the devil's kiss. Vaquer hit a modified code breaker for a near fall. Morgan hit a backstabber, teased going for the devil's kiss herself, but then Vaquer reversed it, hit a package backbreaker, and Vaquer ended up hitting Liv with Oblivion for a near fall. Then Roxanne came out and distracted the referee while Raquel hit Stephanie off the top rope. Stephanie was standing by the ropes, and Liv hit her with Oblivion and got a 2 count. Vaquer then hit a dive onto Raquel and Roxanne as Liv managed to get out of the way. Then she tossed Vaquer into the steel steps, rolled her into the ring, hit Oblivion again for the win. Liv Morgan is your new Women's World Heavyweight Champion. This was absolutely the right call. The match was okay, but the important thing was getting Liv the belt. You need someone who can sell a feud more on her own. Stephanie Vaquer's title reign was not good, but none of it is her fault. You booked her title reign like shit. So, of course, the transition to Liv Morgan, who's more over now than she probably has been over the last couple years, and she's been over the last couple years. I think putting the title on her right now is a good move. Stephanie, I think she should still remain somewhat in the title picture. I think she's going to be better in the chasing role for now. And next time she gets the belt, man, can we please book it with some meaning and some sense of urgency, please? After the match, this pissed me off. It's a slight detail. I don't know if any other creators are going to catch it. I hope so, because I hope we're all on the same page with this. After the match, we got a commercial for the retro LJN figures. And they have a Jelly Roll retro LJN WWE figure. Are you fucking kidding me right now? I don't know who Jelly Roll sold his soul to, but get him off my fucking TV. I don't cover this shit, and I don't pay to watch this shit for fucking Jelly Roll. Enough is enough. Then we get John Cena. He came out to announce the attendance for night one. He comes out, he announces the attendance. 50,816 people attended night one. Now, you can take those numbers on the surface. I won't be doing that. We should all be aware by now that WWE inflates their numbers every single year. But even if you were to take that number at face value, 50,816. What did last year sell? 63,000 something? So you mean to tell me that you're still down 13,000 tickets and you don't see a problem with that, Mr. Nick Khan, you bullshit artist? Oh, we're only down 1 or 2 percentage points. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Still down over 10,000 at least, and it's probably more like 15. Bianca Belair came out and she announced that she's pregnant. Good for her, good for Montez. And now we know why she's been absent. So unfortunately, tomorrow, I do hope that means that maybe Rhea will win tomorrow. We'll see. But I have a sneaky suspicion they're going to have Jade win and we're going to be stuck with more of her dog shit title reign. Then we get to the main event. So from the time John Cena announced the attendance and Bianca announced that she was pregnant till the time the main event started, 20 minutes of the show had elapsed. 20 minutes went by in between that. I think if you got, and this is what I mean, man, if you got rid of some of the filler, this would have been a pretty good show. I mean, it was okay. It was decent, but the fact is it could have been better. So then in the video package, I was into the video package at first. They showed Randy Orton's attack. They showed the history between the two guys, and then Jelly Roll comes in, and it fucking took me out, man. I was done with it from that point on. And then Pat McAfee comes in, and Pat McAfee also got his own entrance. so Pat McAfee comes out. He got booed initially, and then there was like no reaction once he hit the stage. That's how you can tell, for my TKO friends who know nothing about the wrestling business. When you get no reaction like this, that's as bad as it gets. That means get that person the fuck off of TV. Lesson number 1. So Pat and Orton ended up both hitting Orton's pose during his entrance. Lack of reaction started affecting Randy Orton as well. Randy Orton started getting no reaction because we don't want to see Pat fucking McAfee. For Cody Rhodes' entrance, he had different attires in like big glass cases, kind of like his own version of the Batcave. Looked pretty cool. He had his debut attire, the green and yellow. Then he had his broken nose attire. Then he had his Stardust attire, and then his current attire, all in cases. And he rose from the ground in the middle of them. It looked pretty cool. Then he hugged his wife and daughter who were in the front row. Some dickhead could be heard booing in the back. Listen, man, when Cody's in the ring, when Cody's cutting a promo, if you want to boo, by all means. When you got a guy hugging his wife and daughter and you decide to boo, you got to really, you have to really fix your priorities, man. What kind of a dickhead move is that to boo that little girl's father while he's holding his little girl? I'm sure that person will never watch this, but whoever that is, fuck you. Pat McAfee took the microphone from Alicia Taylor. He did Randy Orton's ring announcement. Fucking awful. I don't know why Pat McAfee thinks that he sounds good on the microphone. Randy Orton. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. And then he does that bouncy thing when he talks. Like, oh, fucking terrible. Then he hit Cody upside the head with the microphone before the bell rang. Cody threw Orton out, and then he hit a crossroads on Pat. We're all thinking, thank fuck at this point. Then he put Pat on the announce table, and then Jelly Roll comes in. And then he walks from one announce table, walks across to the next one, and then he elbows Pat McAfee through the announce table. And then he tells Cody, he says, finish this one-on-one like it's supposed to be. Pat McAfee gets carried out on a stretcher. So in a matter of 5 minutes, a lot of people might have saw this and been like, wow, it's great. It's Jelly Roll beating up Pat McAfee. No, this is fucking horrendous. 5 minutes in to your WrestleMania main event, and you have made the entire thing about Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll. You don't see a fucking issue with that? You saw this part of the match and you think that we're still not getting this at Backlash? You're fucking dreaming. We are absolutely getting this at Backlash. Some form of this. Oh, where the fuck was I at, man? Michael Cole made mention on commentary that Randy had a back injury. So now we get to the start of the actual match. Cody hit his signature drop down punch. Then he hit a power slam. Went for a Cody cutter and Randy reversed it into a backbreaker. Jeez. See, that's how sick Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll make me. So Cody went for a Cody cutter. Randy reversed it into a backbreaker. He hasn't done it in a long time, but it's his backbreaker where he kind of grabs their head and breaks their back over his back. He then started selling a back injury from this point forward. So then Cody then started targeting his back with repeated strikes. He locked in a bear hug, followed by a vertical suplex. Cody goes up top. Randy cut his legs out, and then Cody is posted up top. Randy hits a superplex, and then he sold his injured back. Some clotheslines from Orton, followed by a power slam. Then he hit his draping DDT, sold his injured back even more. Then Randy goes for an RKO. Cody reversed that, tossed him to the outside. Cody went for a suicide dive, but Randy cut him off with a forearm to the face. Randy hit his signature slam on the announce table. And then Cody ended up posting Randy Orton into the ring post. Randy Orton got busted open right in the middle of his head. And this is what I was saying, why they probably didn't use color in Fatu and McIntyre. Not that it needed it. It just seems like that would have been nice to end the feud. But given how this match went, I see why they didn't use color in that match. I think using it in 2 matches in WrestleMania would probably be overkill, if I'm being honest. So then we get Randy was busted open. Cody punched and stomped Orton. Then he hit a disaster kick. Then he hit Orton's own draping DDT. Cody went to set up for an RKO. Randy moved and he hit a crossroads on Cody for a 2 count. Randy goes for an RKO and Cody reversed it into a backslide for a 2. Then they pop up and Cody hit Randy with an RKO for a near fall. Randy rolled to the outside. Cody hit him with his own slam on top of the announce table. Then Cody rolled him into the ring. And the second they get in the ring, Cody gets in there. They both kind of stand up. Randy hit him with an RKO right away. Another near fall. Both men are trading punches. Cody gets busted open now. Then his looked more legit. Like, Orton's might have been planned. Cody's was not planned. With where he got busted open was like this part of his head. So then he rakes Orton's eyes. Randy's blinded. First person to touch him is Charles Robinson, the referee. So Randy RKO's Charles Robinson. And then he goes for a low blow on Cody. Cody reverses it and actually gives a low blow to Randy, planting the seeds for a future heel turn for Cody. Not anytime soon, but the seeds are there. Then he goes for a Cody cutter. Randy caught him in midair with an RKO. He goes for the cover, but Charles Robinson just got RKO'd. Out comes Pat McAfee in a referee shirt. Why? I don't fucking know. Comes out in a referee shirt, performs the count. Cody kicks out at 2. Orton is setting up for a punt. It looks like he's setting up for a punt. McAfee is like standing over his shoulder, like talking shit, like, get him, Randy, get him, Randy. So then Randy hit Pat McAfee with an RKO. Boom. That just made this entire thing a waste of time, but okay. Whatever. Randy hit him with an RKO. Then Cody hit Randy with the crossroads. 1, 2, 3. That is the end. First half of this match was very slow and methodical, not great. Second half was pretty good. So overall, it was an okay match. Then the show goes off the air, and we see Randy hit Cody as the show's going off the air with the title belt. Then he finally hits Cody with the punt kick that we've all been waiting for. And the show goes off the air officially with Randy standing over Cody, holding the title after just having hit the punt kick on Cody. I thought this was brilliant. I do hope that this is it, though, with Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll. So if you recall, Pat McAfee said that should Cody Rhodes win at WrestleMania, you will never see him again in the wrestling business. I hope we're all on the same page. Let's hold WWE to that. You hear me? I don't want to see Pat McAfee ever again. That's what the man said. That's what we should get. So if we see some form of this at Backlash, man, you know it's complete dog shit. So overall, it was a decent show. I think if you didn't have the women's tag match on there, I think if you got rid of some of the other filler nonsense that we don't need, I think this show would have been fine. Would have been a pretty good show. But instead, we did have the filler. We did have the women's tag match. We did have the 6-man tag match. That was a waste of time. So it was a decent show. It was a decent show. Is it worth going back and watching? No. I don't think so. The only thing worth going back and watching is Gunther versus Seth Rollins. And that is it. And I stand by, after watching the match, stand by what I said. That will be match of the weekend for sure. So let me know what your guys' thoughts were on WrestleMania, man. Help me get to at least, I think it's 50 or 100 subscribers before you can go live. I would much prefer to go live, man. I would much prefer to spark up some conversation with you guys and, be with the people. I'm a man of the people. I want to discuss this with you guys. I don't want to just talk to you. Help me get to 50 or 100 subscribers, man, so we can get some lives going after these shows. But yeah, overall, WrestleMania was a decent show. Night 1. Night 2, we'll see how it goes. We got the match that most of us are excited for tomorrow in Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. we'll see how that goes. I will be releasing my predictions tomorrow morning before the show, so stay tuned for that. And as always, this is Cy the Guy presenting you the Go Home Show. This has been Night 1 review of WrestleMania. I will have Playhouse Disney Paul with me here tomorrow as well for one last show. So any possibly derogatory remarks you want to make towards Paul here, get them out now. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below your thoughts on WrestleMania, on my opinions on Night 1. If you agree, disagree, think I'm an asshole, whatever it is, let me know. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning for my Night 2 predictions. Thank you so much for joining me.